You are listening to the Slow Living Podcast, and I'm your host, Stephanie O'Day. What if I told you that you could truly have the life of your dreams, the life you've always wanted, one filled with abundance, joy, and a sense of purpose? It's absolutely possible, and I see it each and every day with my coaching clients. It all starts with learning how to slow down. You deserve to live the life you've always dreamt about. Let's get started. Hello, Slow Down Society. Thank you for being here. I am recording this on Thanksgiving Eve, 2022, which also happens to be my birthday eve. So this year, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. And that happens, I don't know, I haven't done the math, every 7 years, every 8 years, something like that. It falls on my birthday. And it's just really a very interesting and contemplative time because birthdays for many of us, and absolutely, especially for me, sort of drudges up a whole bunch of thoughts and feelings and emotions. And you sort of take an assessment and wonder, am I on the right path? Is this what I thought I would be doing at this age? So for me, this, to some people, doesn't seem like a big number. I am turning 46 tomorrow. To me, it is a big number, and it's been sort of percolating, and I've been pontificating on this number for quite a while in my brain and trying to process the thoughts and feelings that I have about it. And Adam and I are the same age, except for he turns 46 in July. And so when the calendar turns to a new year, his personality is that I'm now in my 46th year. So regardless of where his birthday falls, which happens to be in July, he starts acting as if it's his birthday year and he's that number early in the year. And so because of that, I'm recording this in November. I have felt as if I'm 46 for the whole entire calendar year. And again, this happens in July when Adam turns the actual number. I start thinking about it again. So most people probably don't think about their birthday as much as I do, but I feel like it's always sort of in my face, and I'm always trying to reassess and see if I'm on the right path. And 20 years ago, is this where I thought I was going to be? And 20 years from now, where is it that I want to go? Am I on the right path? And so if you've been here and you've listened for a while, you know that I am all about going slow and living in the moment and trusting that the choices and the decisions and the actions I take all lead me to where I want to go. And I do that by following the 5 steps of slow living. And step 1 is to declutter. If things aren't working out in your life, get rid of them, toss them aside. It doesn't mean you'll never, ever circle back to them if they begin to fit your life. So one of the previous episodes we did was on being sober curious. If alcohol doesn't fit in your life right now, or if some other vice doesn't fit in your life right now, toss it, get rid of it. It doesn't mean that it can't ever come back in, such as social media, maybe a toxic coworker that you decided to keep your distance from. So you know what isn't working in your life. So get rid of it, declutter it. Step 2, plan out your GPS, know where you're headed. And this is fun because I'm just asking you to daydream. I'm asking you to go quiet and go within and close your eyes and meditate and just be at peace and figure out what is it deep down inside you really, really want. And think about it and dream it and feel all of the feels that bubble up for you when you imagine having done this thing or been this person or achieved this result. So that's step 2. Step 3, stay positive. Be happy in the here and the now. And don't decide to be happy when whatever it is that you're working towards comes true. That's not a life well lived. You need to live life now. So stay present, stay grateful, stay aware. Step 4, go. Take action. Teeny tiny baby action steps every way. If you were a horse, you would be pointing your nose in the right direction and just inching forward. If your nose is not pointed in the right direction, go back. Go back to step 1, figure out what's not working, and then go back to step 2 and figure out where it is you want to go. So step 4, I did step 4, was teeny tiny baby steps every day. And then step 5 is your tweak and you modify because stuff comes up. This is real life. And in real life, it's not linear. It's not a spreadsheet. Recessions will happen, tornadoes, floods, hurricanes. I just ran into my friend Leslie at Trader Joe's yesterday. And she said that a pipe burst in her basement and they woke up to the smell of sewage everywhere. And that's an $8,000 expense that she was not expecting. And I don't want that for any of you, but that is real life. And so just knowing, and it doesn't mean that you give up on whatever it is you're dreaming about in step 2. It means that you tweak and you modify because life happens, death happens, divorce happens, moves happen, loss of jobs happen, and that's okay. It's not something you plan for or hope for or want, but it is how the human experience is. And so just be aware. Okay, so I have titled this one 4 More Years. And I said that turning 46 was kind of a biggish number for me, and it felt heavy when I began 2022. So turning 45 to some people might seem heavy. That didn't to me. That seemed like, okay, that's awesome. Let's bring it on. 46 seemed heavy. And I think it is because for me, it is truly what I believe is the midlife point for me. And that's because in our family, people seem to die at 92. They just do. And so you may have a different number in your head where you think you may pass away. But in my brain, I will probably die at 92. Does that mean that I'm planning on it? And if I live to 94 or 95, I'm going to be disappointed? No, it is what it is. But that's the feelings that I have. And I can try and change that thought. I can try and change it to I'm going to live to a different age. But it's so embedded within me. It's such a deep core belief that it would take a whole bunch of work that I'm just not interested in doing. So a belief is really just a thought you keep having. And probably I have had this thought since I was a little kid and my great grandma died at 92. And so probably in my brain, I've just decided, okay, that's when people die. So that is what it is for me. And that is why this particular number seems heavy. Also, I'm 4 years away from 50. And 50 is loaded in many ways because I've always wanted to retire at 50. And so there's only 4 more years away from that. And I don't like spreadsheets, but my husband most certainly does. And so we have been working towards a retirement number for, I don't know, the entire 23 years that we've been married. And so if you haven't gone back and listened to episode 15, which is Financial Independence, Retire Early, that's where I explain what my step 2 is, where I'm working towards and where my GPS is pointed is retiring early. And so that is what it is. The episode that I've entitled this one is 4 More Years. And it kind of came up for me during this past election. And I don't like to watch news anymore, but the election results were on. And so I started thinking about slogans and different things. And I think we've all can hear the chanting in our brain of 4 more years, 4 more years. And since it is my birthday and I do a lot of self-reflection, I started thinking about that. Okay, where am I? How am I feeling? How am I doing? If I look at the components of the peace pyramid, and the bottom is time management, health, finances, and then the next level is organization and relationships, and then you have peace on top. I feel pretty gosh darn at peace right now with the trajectory of my life. Everything right now feels so good. I'm getting up early, I'm meditating, I'm journaling, I'm doing yoga, I'm going for a run on the treadmill. I talk to my friend Jen on the phone when I'm walking Sheldon. I enjoy my day job at work. I like the people I'm around. They pay me. It is all working well right now, and I feel pretty gosh darn good. And so the question I asked myself, can I do this for another 4 years? And right away, the answer was yes. So if you've got this magic 8 ball and you shake it right now and you ask the question, how are you? Is what you're doing right now sustainable? If you keep going the direction you're going, the trajectory you're going, will you get that calm, peaceful, tranquil feeling that you're looking for? And if not, that's okay. That's a big step of taking an honest assessment of where you are. Then what can you do to change it? What can you declutter? What can you tweak? What can you modify? If you are just on a hamster wheel with no direction in any of those components of the peace pyramid, if you know you're not getting up the way you should, you're staying up too late, your body is tired, you don't feel good in your skin, you look in the mirror, you're not happy, you look in your bank account, you're not happy, what do you need to do? Use my words as a wake-up call. Maybe you're not 46 today. Maybe you're some other age, but use it as a wake-up call. Are you happy? Are you content? Are you at peace? Do you feel fulfilled? Is your heart just bursting with joy? And if not, okay, that's okay. Take a moment, take a pause, and figure out what it is you want and what it is you need to make those things come true for you. And that is what the work is. So I have so many different things on my website that you can download. And then also absolutely everything is within the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course. So if your time management isn't in check, there's module and worksheets and downloadables within there. If your health isn't where you are, there is a 6 weeks jump start to optimum health embedded in there with a guide. If your relationships aren't where you want them to be, that is a fixable thing. You deserve to be surrounded by the people that you love and you cherish and who you know love you unconditionally back. And if that isn't what's happening for you, then go back to the step 1 in the 5 steps of slow living and declutter, purge, remove, organize, and figure out what it is. Who are these people that are dragging you down, that are keeping you from soaring? And pluck them. Maybe not forever, but maybe for 30 days while you reassess and focus and decide where it is you want to go. If your house isn't a tranquil, peaceful environment and you don't pull up to it and you don't feel proud and excited, and instead you feel heavy and dreary and you're just really moving piles around, all right, you've got some work to do. You've got some decluttering, and that's okay. This is a fixable problem. You do not need to live in a place that doesn't make you feel joyful and buoyant and at peace and content and proud. You do deserve to have all of those feelings, all of those emotions. And that is my Thanksgiving wish for you. What else is it? If your finances. So you know if you are overspending. You already can feel it in your body. You already know every time you drag the credit card through the swiper if the purchase you're making feels good or it doesn't. And I want you to be at such peace with your finances that whatever you're doing, whatever you're spending, whatever you're buying feels so good that it's just not a big deal to you. So if you're in debt, find a way out. I like the Dave Ramsey baby steps. We did it when we were young to get $40,000 out of consumer debt, and then just sort of continued on that trajectory of being very frugal, and it has served us well. Also, if you're trying to keep up with people that you don't even necessarily like in order to feel accepted by them, and in doing so, you're over purchasing and overspending and overeating out and doing all these things, it's okay to say no and tighten your budget and go back to step one and declutter. What can you do to stay on your budget? If you don't have a budget, that's a problem too. So in the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course, the whole finance module is about creating a realistic budget and seeing where you are and figuring out your own personal FIRE number, which is financial independence, retire early. One of my favorite resources is Your Money or Your Life. And that is a phenomenal book to read because you decide what is important, not anyone else, not the media, not the news, not your neighbor down the street, not your parents, not your neighbors, not your friends. You decide because this is your life. Okay, what else? I wanted to share, I shared with you in the last episode, and I'm going to share it again, that I put out a survey to the people on my mailing list. And if you are not on my mailing list, I would highly recommend hopping on because that's how you know when all of the new things that I create for you come out and you get first dibs and first crack. So if you haven't downloaded the daily journaling worksheet, I recommend that you do so. That is stephanieodea.com/daily, DAILY. And we're going into the new year. And there's another downloadable in there that I think you would really benefit from. And it might feel like work, and it might feel like something you don't want to do. But it is at stephanieodea.com/new you, NEWYOU. And that is taking an honest assessment of where you are right now. So it's not mapping out your GPS, but it's taking an honest assessment of where you are. And then when you have that information, sit with it for a while. So data has nothing. Data is emotionless. It's you as a human attach meaning to what the data is. So taking an honest assessment for some people feels really heavy, and they start thinking thoughts that they're behind, or that they're a loser, or that they're making mistakes, or it's never going to happen, and this is the way it is. And those are thoughts that don't feel good. But taking the honest assessment and sitting with it for a while, and then paying attention to these thoughts, then you know what the work is. And that's when you start filling out those daily worksheets and paying attention to the thoughts and how those thoughts feed the feelings. And those feelings either help you move forward and take action, or they keep you stuck and kind of in this rut that you can't get out of. So and I have so many different things to help you, but I was working on it this morning. So in the 30 Days to a New You journal, which is a paperback journal that's for sale on Amazon, and it's $10. It's not the end of the world. So day 8, the quote every day has a different quote, and today's quote was just so amazing. The universe absolutely placed it in front of me because I knew I was going to record this today. But the quote was, even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. And that's Will Rogers. But think about it. If you know you're on the right track and you can do whatever it is for these next 4 years, and you feel that in your bones, if you don't take action, if you don't keep moving and pushing forward and growing just a little bit each and every day, you'll get run over if you're on the right track, but you're not moving. So think about that. And where does that ring true for you? And if you don't like where you are, you absolutely have the power to change it. So one thing that I like to tell my coaching clients and my students in the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course is that I want you deep down inside to love all of the parts of yourself. And if you can't love them, change them. And if you can't change them, then I would like for you to accept them and fully accept and love unconditionally. So sometimes we look in the mirror and we're not super happy. And if it's a fixable thing and something that you can change by diet or exercise or moisturize or getting a better night's sleep, then do that. But if there's something that you truly cannot change, a disability, a deformity, something that you were born with that you just can't change, I want you to accept it. I want you to love on it. I want you to become at peace with it. All right. So that is my birthday wish for you. And that is my Thanksgiving wish for you. Where are you? Are you calm? Are you content? Do you feel good? Can you do what you're doing right now for another 4 years? All right. Consider yourself loved and hugged. I think you are absolutely wonderful. These next few episodes, I think there's going to be 6 in a row, are going to be encore episodes. And that is because we're going into the holiday season and I'm going to take my own advice and I am going to slow down and love on my family deeply. And I'm going to go within and I'm going to journal and I'm going to reassess. I'm also going to be doing some tweaking to the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course. So be sure you're on the mailing list because I am going to massively discount for the month of December. And then each month leading all the way up until May, I'm going to tweak up the price because many of you think that the price is too high and I want to serve you. And so if you would like that discount code, be sure you're on the mailing list so you get first crack at it when it comes out. All right, pretty people, enjoy your holiday season, and I will see you on the other side. Do you have a slow living story to share? Leave me a voicemail at stephanieodea.com/podcast with any questions, comments, feedback, or testimonials, and I will be sure to include it in an upcoming episode. Also, if you found value in this episode, please share it with your family and friends and subscribe through your favorite podcast provider. The more you share, comment, and leave positive reviews, the more people we can reach and share the slow living lifestyle and messaging. Thank you, Slow Down Society, and have an absolutely wonderful day.